y'all, Courtney from Bhakti Wellness here. Thought I would lead a gentle morning practice for you today. So just allow yourself to land on the mat. For props, all I'm using today is a blanket because it can be folded and rolled to serve you in a few different ways. Let's just take a moment to land and arrive in this moment. If it feels safe to do so, downcast the gaze or close the eyes. And your legs, you can be seated in any way that feels easeful for you. Just starting to notice how you're breathing. Not trying to control it, yet watching it as it enters and exits the body. Take a big inhale. Open the mouth side out. Big inhale. Side out. One more big inhale. Side out. We'll begin our practice with a very gentle balancing breath. We're going to do Nadi Shodhana, or alternate nostril breathing. This technique you can do with or without hands. If having the hands over or the fingers over the nostril makes you feel overwhelmed, or it's too restrictive for you this morning, or no matter what time of day it is for you, then you can visualize inhaling through the right nostril and exhaling through the left, inhaling through the left, exhaling through the right. So you can direct your mind's eye to making each nostril the dominant breather. And it's just a more subtle variation of Nadi Shodhana. For those of you who are not stuffed up and it feels right, you will come into Vishnu Mudra with the right hand. So Vishnu Mudra is when you fold your peace finger, so your index and your middle finger are going to fold down into the palm at the base of the thumb, leaving the thumb, ring, and pinky finger released, okay? It does feel awkward due to the anatomy of our hands. The ligaments won't let your pinky or your ring finger fully straighten, and that's totally okay, all right? So reverse of a peace sign, index, middle finger to the base of the thumb, leaving thumb, ring, and pinky finger released. Vishnu Mudra. Have Vishnu Mudra facing up on your lap. With your left hand, you can create Chin or Jnana Mudra. Gyan Mudra if you practice Kundalini more frequently, and have the left hand palm up. Shoulders draw down and away from the ears. Okay. And if at any time, again, it doesn't resonate with you, you can visualize the more subtle variation of alternate nostril breathing, or just have your hands rest in your lap and breathe to your own accord, maybe equal inhalations to exhalations. Otherwise, downcast the gaze, close the eyes if that feels safe. Take a big inhale. Open the mouth to side out. Bring the right thumb to plug the right nostril. Inhale through the left for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Retain the breath. Lift the thumb. Exhaling right for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Retain the breath for a moment and then exhaling left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Retain the breath for a moment. Lift the thumb. Exhale right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Retain the breath for a moment and then lift the ring and pinky finger. Exhale, left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Retain the breath and then lift the thumb. Exhale, right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Plugging both nostrils and then lifting the ring and pinky finger. Exhale, left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the right hand. Letting the breath flow naturally here. Lovely. All right. From here, if you're sitting on something, remove it out from underneath you. And make your way onto your back. If laying on your back is problematic with legs straight, you can have the knees bent. Just take a moment here to land in stillness. Just noting how your body's connecting to the mat, how you're feeling. Maybe taking this time to set an intention for your practice. On your next inhale, reach the tips of the fingers away from tips of the toes. Breathing in, the body becomes tight and tense. Exhale, soften and relax. Inhale, stretch the tips of the fingers away from tips of the toes. Breathing in, body's tight and tense. Exhale, soften, relax. One more. Inhale, stretching the tips of the fingers away from tips of the toes. Breathing in. Exhale, soften, relax. Bend your knees, bring your feet flat to the floor, mat width apart so that the lateral aspect of your feet, the pinky edges of the feet, come to the edges of the mat. Reach your fingertips up towards the ceiling. Check in with your neck, your cervical spine. If you have any issues turning your head from side to side, you're going to keep your nose pointing towards the ceiling. Otherwise, your nose and your knees will follow the same direction. Your arms go in the opposite direction. Take a full breath in. As you exhale, knees and nose are going to go to the left. Your arms will reach across the body to the right. Inhale, nose, knees, and fingertips through center. Exhale, nose and knees to the right, arms reach left. Inhale through center. Exhale to switch sides. Inhaling through center. Exhale to switch. Inhaling center, exhale to switch. Let's do twice more to each side. Moving at your own breath, your own pace. From there, you can draw your knees into your chest. Maybe gently rocking from side to side, checking in with the low back, in the hips. Do some circles with the knees in each direction. And then if it feels right, giving yourself a little hug or squeeze. Releasing the shoulders, neck, and head back to the mat. Lower the arms down by your sides, palms turned in by the hips. Straighten the right leg, dorsal flexions in that right foot and ankle, so meaning top of the foot towards the body, heel away. Okay, inhale, lifting the right leg. Exhale to lower down. Inhaling, right leg lifts. Exhale, right leg lowers. Inhaling to lift. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Pause. Feel like you can feel the backs of your hips grounding down. Feel your femur plugging into the hip socket, but then also feel like you can press that right heel skyward. Take a big inhale. Side out. And on your next exhale, slowly lowering that right leg. Inhale, bend the right knee, plant the right foot. As you exhale, straighten the left leg. Find the dorsal flexion in that left ankle. Inhale, lifting the left leg. Exhale to lower it down. Inhale, left leg lifts. Feel the backs of the shoulders ground down into the mat. Exhale to lower. A couple more times on the left. This time the left leg stays lift for a couple of moments here. Feel like you could plug the left femur into the hip socket and then feel like you can extend out from the heel. And on your next exhale, slowly lower down. Bend the left knee, planting the foot. Reach the left arm in line with the ear, bring the right arm to cross your chest. Roll onto your side. Taking a couple of breaths here, maybe coming back to the intention you may have set at the beginning of your practice. And then root down to rise up. Coming right into tabletop position. Now again, here might be a time where you need your blanket. You can fold or unfold it to create extra cushion for your knees if you need. Same can be done by grabbing the middle of your mat, pulling it back towards you, creating extra rolls or folds in the fabric to place your knees upon. Same can be said for the top of the mat and heels of the hands if deep flexion in the wrists is an issue. Otherwise, you can be flat on your palms, you can be up on fingertips, or you can be on fists, or down on elbows and forearms, okay? From here, just take a few moments and move the body in any way that might feel good for you. Just being curious if you're just starting out in your day, noticing where you feel a little bit more restricted. And then take the next breath or two to make your way back to tabletop. Beautiful. As you inhale, tilt the sit bones up, draw the heart forward, lifting the head. Exhale, curl the sit bones under, roll up through the spine, chin to the chest. Inhale, sit bones tilt upwards, heart draws between the shoulders, chin draws away from the chest. Exhale, curling the sit bones under, roll up through the spine, chin to the chest. One more, inhale, tilt the sit bones up, draw the heart forward, lift the head. Exhale, curl the sit bones under, roll up through the spine, chin to the chest. Pause here. Feel like you can draw your pubic bone a little bit closer to your forehead. From here, root down through the tops of the feet, keep scooping the pubic bone to the forehead, maybe lift the knees up off the floor. Place the knees back down. Exhale, send your bum back towards your heels. It's okay if you can't quite get your hips to your heels. Go back as far as feels safe for the knees. And then walk the arms further out in front of you. I like to turn my palms up. But you can have your palms down. Totally up to you. Taking a couple of full breaths here. And on your next inhale, coming back to tabletop position. Lovely. From here, we're going to reverse the flow of our tabletop. So as you inhale, the chin is going to draw away from the chest, then the shoulder's going to draw, or the chest between the shoulders, then you're going to tilt the sit bones up. As you exhale, draw your chin to the chest, press up between the shoulder blades, then scoop your pubic bone towards your forehead. Inhale, head lifts, heart draws forward, hips lift. Exhale,
chin to the chest, pressing up between the shoulder blades, scooping the sit bones underneath the hips. And then inhale, chin lifting, heart drawing forward, top of the sit bones lifting. One more time. Exhaling, chin to the chest, pressing up between the shoulder blades, scooping pubic bone to the forehead. And as you inhale, come back to a neutral spine. Beautiful. From here, you're going to step the feet back into high plank just for a moment. Feel like you can push the floor away from you. Find a little bit of strength, just waking up through the side body. Bring the knees back down below the hips. Lovely. From here, walk your hands over to the left. Step the right foot forward. And then bring your hands on either side of that right foot. Scissor your inner thighs here. Right hip slightly back, left hip slightly forward. Draw the shoulders away from your ears. Lengthen through the crown of the head. If you're needing to bring the ground a little closer to you, you are most welcome to bring blocks, books, canned food, anything to bring the ground closer to you if you need that in your practice. On your next exhale, start to draw your hips back. Walk the hands slightly back. Work towards straightening your right leg, getting a nice opening through the hamstring. Now this for me is my first practice of the day, so I'm really quite tight still through the hamstring, so my knee's still fairly bent, and that's totally cool if that's where you're at as well. Feel like you can send your sit bones back behind you and draw the crown of the head forward. On your next inhale, planting that right foot, lunging more deeply into the right knee. And on your next exhale, sending the sit bones back. Bit of a flow here, starting to awaken the hamstrings between Hanumanasana, prep, and low lunge. Inhaling forward, exhaling back. Inhaling forward, exhaling back. Inhaling forward, walk the hands back to the left. Draw your hips back slightly to draw the right knee back below the hips, and then walk your hands all the way over to the right. Step the left foot forward, and then square the chest with the left thigh. Left hand on the outside of the left foot, right hand below the right shoulder. For me, I'm tented on fingertips, so finding yourself where is accessible for you, maybe on fingertips, maybe you're able to have palms or fists on the floor. Again, maybe you have books, cans of food, or props underneath your hands. Scissoring the inner thighs, right hip slightly forward, left hip slightly back. Finding breath here that flows with ease. And on your next exhale, you're going to draw your hips back so that the right hip stacks over the right knee, working towards straightening that left leg. Again, there still might be a bend in the knee. Feel like you can uncurl your sit bones towards the wall behind you and draw your heart forward, shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, coming into your low lunge. Exhale, back to Hanumanasana prep. Inhaling to lunge. Exhaling to Hanumanasana prep. Inhaling to your lunge. Walking your hands to the right. Drawing your hips slightly back, drawing the left knee back below the hips. Walk your hands below the shoulders. From here, tuck your toes. Start to bring your bum back towards your heels. Now, if having deep flexion in your knees is not accessible for you, you can tuck the toes, press down into the hands, lift your bum up, and start to walk back, knees deeply bent if need be, into a standing forward fold, okay? If you are able to bring your bum back towards your heels, okay? Tucking the toes, walking your hands back towards your heels. Once your hands come back to by your knees, you're gonna traction your fingertips into the floor and lift your knees up off the mat, coming into toe stand. Now you might need to keep
both sets of fingertips on the floor. Maybe one hand can come to the lap, maybe the other. Eventually the shoulders stack over the hips. The heels are stacked above the toes, high on the balls of the feet. Low ribs knitting inward here, hands to the heart. You may wibble, you may wobble, that's okay. And then releasing your fingertips to the floor, and we'll all meet in a standing forward fold. So for those in toe stand, fingertips to the floor, and then inhale, lift your butt, plant your heels. Again, knees can be as bent as necessary to access this forward fold. If it does not feel good to have your head down below your heart this morning, have a nice deep bend in the knees, hands on the thighs, head elevated above the hips. Otherwise, you can allow the shoulders, neck, and head to hang heavy. You can clasp the elbows if you like. You can nod the head yes or shake the head no. You can even sway the body like a pendulum from side to side. Take a nice big full breath in and sigh it out. Bending the knees if they're not there already. Root down through the feet, slowly roll up through the spine. Eventually the shoulders will stack over the hips, then you can reach the arms out to the sides, and then reach the fingertips, maybe the gaze lifting up towards the ceiling. Exhaling. Bring the palms to heart center for a moment. And then release the arms, shake it out. Take a moment, let that go. Cool. Finding your form of Tadasana. If Samastitihi works best for you, big toes touching, heels slightly apart, go for it. Otherwise, feet inner hip bone width apart or outer hip bone width apart. I always say it's your body, your practice, so finding the foundation that works for you. Ground down through your feet. Start to rebound up through the crown of the head. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Head the arms down by your sides. Open hands, open heart. Just take a few moments feeling the stability of your foundation. Inhale, reaching the arms up and overhead. Maybe the gaze lifts. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, reaching the arms up and overhead. Exhale, reaching out to the sides and down. Inhale, arms reaching out and up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhaling, arms up. Exhaling, reaching out and down. Inhale, arms reaching up and overhead. Exhale, gentle bend to the knees, fold forward, bow forward. Inhale, halfway lift. A bend can be had in the knees, hands to shins or thighs, heart draws forward, shoulders draw down the back line of the body. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, rise up, reach up, lift your heart, lift your head, big stretch. Exhale, palms to meet in front of the heart. Inhale, arms reaching up. Exhale, gentle bend the knees, fold from the hips, bowing forward. Uttanasana, standing forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, really lengthening the spine. Ardha Uttanasana, sternum draws forward, shoulders slide down the back line of the body. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise up, reach up, lift the heart, lift the head, big stretch. Exhale, palms to heart center. Inhale, arms reach up, look up. Exhale, fold from the hips, bow forward, knees bend as necessary. Inhale to Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rise up, reach up, lift the heart, lift the head, big stretch. Exhale, hands to meet at heart center. Take a deep breath in. Sigh it out. Cool. From here, bring your fingertips down to the sides. Tent your fingertips on the thighs. Draw the shoulders away from the ears and really think of your scapula, your shoulder blades sliding down the back line of the body. Think of your low ribs knitting in and growing tall through the side body. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, reaching up and over to the right, sliding the right fingertips down towards the top of the knee. Inhale to come up. Exhale,
Left fingertips sliding down towards the top of the left knee. Inhaling to come up. Exhaling to switch sides. Starting to awaken the side body. One more time to each side. And then shake it out. Release your foundation. Let that go. From here, take your feet nice and wide. Have your feet running parallel-ish to the short edges of your mat if you're practicing on a yoga mat. Otherwise, your toes are pointing forward, all right? Come to a stance that's wide enough that you feel stable, okay? Lovely. From here, bring your arms out to the sides, draw the tops of the shoulders away from the bottoms of the ears, hug your scapula in towards the midline, okay, so we become active through the shoulder girdle, and then irradiate out from your fingertips. So you're hugging in and reaching out. Draw the low ribs in, and I want you to bring your awareness to the pelvic floor. I want you to think of gently drawing the pelvic floor in, so you're as if you're trying to stop the flow of urine midstream. So there's a very subtle lift, keep that. Then think of drawing below the navel and above the pubic bone, gently in towards the spine and up towards the heart, okay? So a slight mula bandha and a slight uddiyana bandha, or slight root lock and navel lock. Again, shoulders hugging, or shoulder blades hugging medially in towards the midline, and then irradiating out through those fingertips. From here, you're gonna pivot the right toes to the right, so your feet are now perpendicular. If it feels best for you to bring the left toes a little bit more medial, so a little bit more into the midline, you can adjust your back foot, no problem. From here, take a breath in, and as you exhale, you're gonna bring your gaze over your right fingertips and bend into the right knee, stacking the right knee above the right heel. Warrior two. Breathing here. On your next inhale, flip the right palm, reaching the right fingertips skyward. The left fingertips can gently rest on the back of the left thigh, or you can bend at the elbow, bring the back of the left hand to the right hip. Exalting your warrior here, draw the shoulders away from the ears. If this is bothersome to the right shoulder, you can always bend at the elbow, bring the palm of the right hand to the base of the skull, or you can bring the right arm down to the right thigh if it truly is getting numbness or tingling or pain. Inhale to come back up to warrior two. Exhale, straighten the right leg, pivot the right toes forward. And then as you exhale, pivot the left toes to the back of your mat, or so that your feet are now perpendicular, and lunge into the left knee as you look over the left ring finger. Again, shoulders continue to draw away from the ears, scapula hug in towards the back of the heart, and you're still irradiating out through your fingertips. Breathe. Take a glance or a gander down at that left knee. Make sure it's not collapsing medially. You really want to think of externally rotating in that front hip, meaning femur starting to draw out to the left slightly, just so that the left knee one day may track over the middle toe. Keeping in mind that we are all built a little differently. And then flip the left palm, inhaling, reaching the left fingertips skyward, right fingertips either gently resting on the back of the right thigh. Maybe that right elbow bends, bringing the back of the right hand to the outside of the left hip. Maybe the left hand comes to the back of the skull, the occiput. Maybe the left hand must rest on the left thigh. Your body, your practice. Keep your breath flowing with ease. Exalted warrior, rooting down through your feet. And on your next inhale, coming back to warrior two. Exhale, straighten the left leg. Pivot your left toes forward. Bring your hands to your hips. Take a breath in. Sigh it out.
Inhale, lift up through the sternum, up through the chest, chin might lift. Start to hinge forward from the hips, bow forward, fold forward. When you can't hinge any further forward, release the hands to the mat. Take a big inhale, side out. Big inhale, side out. One more big breath in, side out. Bring your hands to the hips, root down through the feet, lift the sternum, and then stack shoulders over the hips. Beautiful. From here, pivot the right toes out to the right, feet perpendicular once again. Lovely. From here, we're going to go into a bit of a flow and not really worrying too much about how exactly you're placing your arms. And if you feel safe enough to do so, I'd love for you to close your eyes. So we're going to flow from warrior two to this straight leg position, almost like we're about to go into Tita Trikonasana or triangle, but we're not going to. We're just with straight legs, with feet perpendicular. So when we're standing, our arms are going to draw in. You can have them at heart center, it's totally up to you. And as you inhale, you're going to draw the arms in and up, and as you exhale, you're going to lunge into your right knee. Arms are going to float up, and it's okay if they go above shoulder height or below, it's up to you. And as you inhale, arms gather in as the leg straightens, exhales into warrior two. Inhaling through center with that right straight leg, exhaling to warrior two. And just continue to flow with your breath. Your next inhale, you will stay with straight legs. You can bring your hands to your hips, pivot the right toes forward, pivot the left toes to the left, feet perpendicular once again. Arms start from center with an inhalation, and as you exhale, coming down into your warrior pose, warrior two. Inhaling, left leg straightens, hands through the midline. Exhaling, warrior two. Inhaling through center. Continue to flow with your breath. Again, closing the eyes if that feels safe. And as you inhale, coming back through center, pivot the left toes to face forward so your feet are parallel with one another, maybe with the short edges of your mat. From here, you can keep your hands on your hips once again, or if it feels safe to do so, you can clasp your hands. Now, if it feels okay for you, maybe the heels of the hands stay clasped together, but maybe you need to have the palms separated. You'll work towards straightening the elbows and lifting the pinky edge of the arms away from you. Some it feels more accessible to have the heels separated. So again, hands at hips would be step one. Clasping the hands, heels separated, step two. Clasping the heels, hands, keeping the heels of the palms together, step three. So you layer it up to what feels accessible for your shoulders, right? Hips, clasped hands, open clasp or closed. Okay, so find what works for you. If you're going for clasped arms, straighten the elbows, knuckles away from the body. Start to draw the pinky edge of the hands or fingers away from the body and start to fold forward from your hips, leading with your heart. And when you can't hinge any further forward from the hips, let the head hang heavy. One day your knuckles will come up towards the ceiling if you have your hands clasped. Continue to think of drawing the shoulders away from the ears and hugging your scapula, your shoulder blades medially. Take a big inhale.
side out. Root down through your feet. Inhale, leading with the head and the heart. Start to come up to standing. Exhale, release the arms. Heel toe your feet in a couple of times. Shake it out, let that go. Cool. All right, from here, inhale, I'm gonna turn sideways. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, gentle bend in the knees, fold forward. Now bend your knees so much that you can bring your knees to the floor. With your knees to the floor, bring your bum to the floor. And then from here, straighten the legs. If you're towards the back of your mat, you can inch your butt and legs forward. Otherwise, either choose to bring your hands to the floor to help you lower down, or to reach your fingertips forward and slowly lower down. Once reclined, bend your knees, plant your feet, and then draw your knees into the chest. Just give yourself a little hug here. From here, bring your feet back to the floor. I'm going to invite you into a twist. You're welcome to take this twist or to modify. If a twist does not serve you, you're welcome to find reclined butterfly pose if you like, or happy baby if you prefer. Otherwise, draw the right knee into the chest. Bring the left hand to the outside of the right knee. Straighten the left leg along the mat. Open the right arm to the right, back of the arm on the floor, palm turned up. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, draw the right knee across the body to the left. Gaze is wherever's safe for you. Could be over the left shoulder, could be up towards the ceiling, could be over the right shoulder. Big inhale, side out. Gently activate through the abdominals, drawing the right knee back up through the chest. Exhale, give it a little squeeze into the body. Inhale, left knee bends into the chest. You can extend that right leg now across or along the floor. This time, right hand outside left knee, left arm opens left, back of the arm on the mat, palm up. Take an inhale. As you exhale, guide the knee across the body to the right. Again, gazes wherever feels safe for you. Feel the backs of the shoulders melting into the mat. Big inhale, side out. Activate through the abdominals. Inhale, left knee back up through center. Exhale, hug it into the chest. Inhale, both knees into the chest. Give yourself a little hug or a big squeeze. You might even try to send your nose between the knees. And then release shoulders, neck, and head back to the mat. And then you can start to extend your legs to the foot of the mat. Now you have a blanket handy, so you might want to unfold it to cover you. You might want to roll it up and slide it underneath your knees. All right, whatever's going to feel right for you. If laying on your back does not serve you, you're welcome to lay on your side, find child's pose, or lay on your tummy, or find a comfortable meditative seat. Otherwise, allow the legs to separate, toes flopping out to the sides, palms turned up. Closing the eyes, take a big inhale, side out.